Oh, good evening, my ladies, gentlemen, both snithers, in-betweens, and outsiders. Welcome to Monday Night Tea Time with your host, the Bard. I have nothing to say this week, which is what I say every week, and then I talk for 15 minutes. But no new changes or anything. But we're a week off from a whole year on tea, so there's that. So yeah, as I said last week, decision made. After next week's recording, I'm gonna take at least a month-long hiatus. I think I have a little bit of a tea mustache. Sorry. I'm gonna take about probably a month off and see if any changes are noticeable over like the span of a month. And then I'll pick back up and see if I need to set a new schedule for doing these, or if I want to continue doing them weekly, or if I'll continue doing them weekly and they'll be less about testosterone and more just vlogs, even though I cringe to simply say the concept vlog. So I'm not a good vlogger, so, I shouldn't even try. Wrong pipe. Anyway. But, facial hair continues. Masculinization. I'm a little tired. It wasn't very hot in here until, just a few minutes ago, so I spent the whole day without the AC blaring, so now it's, slightly oppressively warm in here, and it's making me tired. Masculinization continues, though, and I feel more and more confident. I don't know if this will be the case for everyone going through transition with name change and all that. There are accounts I simply cannot change my name on because they're going off of other accounts where I don't even have an account. I can't change my Credit Karma information because apparently that's not the information they have on TransUnion. I don't have a TransUnion account, and if I wanted to log in and change my information on TransUnion, I'd have to pay a monthly subscription, and fuck, I'm doing that. So, not doing that. So I think I'm just going to... You can send a letter. I'm going to send a letter to each of the main companies that handles, unions of credit. I don't want to say credit unions. I'm sorry, I'm so distracted by the TV in the background. I don't want to say credit unions because I think of credit union as a bank, but those that actually handle the actual unions of credit. Anyway, that I can just write to all three of the major ones and be like, look, I don't know which of y'all needs to get your shit together, but my social security number changed months ago, and you need to be following the name on that. And the fact that you have not done so is pissing me off. And I need to write some very strongly worded letters. Politely strongly worded letters. I love that that's the next step in my transition, is just yelling at the people who aren't changing fast enough. Because it's been months since I got my name changed now. It was May 21st, I think, was when it went through officially. And then, by midway through June, I'd put out to have my social security social security card adjusted. So, Jan is now the number on my social security card. It's the number associated with my social security number. It's the name associated with my social security number. I don't know if I said the number twice. Anyway, so the fact is that that's what should be on all the information that has to do with my social should now be under Jan, and it's not. So that's somebody's fucking fault, and it's not mine. So I need to write some letters, and yeah, that's just become my new roadblock. Is well, that's not the name we have down here. Well, that's because everything you have is outdated. It's not my fault that your system isn't updating. Not my fault. That's just what I'm running into a lot now. Is the stuff that I don't have in my power to change, that should have changed but has not changed. And I do have a tendency to slip through the cracks. So unfortunately, I'm going to have to probably write letters and make phone calls and things that I don't like doing. Just to get all my shit correct. Because I would like to be able to, get credit cards in the proper name and adjust other accounts to the proper name. And I can't do that until I contact some people in, I don't want to say higher-ups, because it's not... those are just poor clerks working for, these large groups that never actually have to hear the direct, why isn't my shit going my way? So, I try and be polite because I understand what it is to be the person who just gets the brunt of it, even though I don't have any control over it. I take in your information and pass it to the higher ups. I just work here. I don't make the rules. So that's why I have to be polite. Strongly worded, but polite. It's not their fault. I just want them to pass it on to their superiors. That I am mad. I'm sure there was something else that was a little bit along those lines. Just that, yeah, what I'm going through right now is just adjusting accounts and that taking forever. Like, I was able to adjust my PayPal and my bank account, but I was not able to adjust, like, any credit card, any credit, anything. And that's a bit upsetting. Yeah, I don't think there's anything else, so, yeah. Green by Cavetown, Lunacy by me. Very, very English going on in the background. Dramatic English. There's violins and English accents and drama. This is erosion. Grind up rocks with your molars. A big fish swims past your rod. You can't catch it, it's far too fast. Deep hook marks and rubber lips. I see your eyes in the flowers. I'll pick a bunch for your room, green and blue to match your pictures. And you look so good in green, and I hope you're well. And you look so good with him, and I'm proud of you still. I miss your perfect teeth. I was too blonde. I hope you feel happy. That's all I want. I just remember there was something that I've been putting off for a week that I still haven't done, and I was supposed to do it today, and I forgot again! To err is human. Except that I'm an elf, obviously. Obviously. These are my newest earrings, by the way. I like that they didn't match. Well, I'm sorry, I am not the moon, and this isn't just a phase. You said that 11 years ago, and you think it's still today. Well, you were screaming at me then, but now I see it on your face, and I'm sorry. I am not the moon, and this isn't just a phase, and I'm so sorry I can't be someone that you wanted. I'm so sorry that I've gotta be me. And it's fucked up that I need to say that. Sorry, that song is still relevant. 11 years and it's still relevant, and I'm mad about it. I was in a slightly decent mood before I started talking, and then I brought up things that I'm upset about, and now I'm just angry. I'm just mad because I'm angry. On an unrelated note, since I usually mention something about what's captured my attention for the past week, this week, because I've been just drilling through podcasts, mostly horror podcasts or horror-adjacent podcasts, I listen to the Magnus Archives, I listen to Old Gods of Appalachia, I suggest both of those. Old Gods especially is so fun, but that's because I'm a Southern boy and it's so nice to hear it. And then I listen to the Storage Papers, and Old Gods and Storage Papers are still going. Old Gods is on a seasonal hiatus, waiting for the next season to start. Storage Papers updates, I believe, every other Tuesday. I could be wrong, but I think it's every other Tuesday. Magnus still does little archives. Little archives. Magnus still does little updates, but the story itself is over. Excuse me. It's just behind the scenes and additional world building, and sometimes just listening to the actors do like one-shots of tabletop games. But still really nice to just be able to keep hearing the same voices. But the one that I listened to this week, and I listened all the way through it. It was a nice short piece. Or rather, did I do two? Oh goodness, I think I did two. I listened to Cryptids. Everything basically I'm listening to off of Rusty Quill. Cryptids was I think only 7 episodes. Really cool. Not at all what you expected. Not at all what I expected, at least. And perhaps someone else would have done their research beforehand. But I definitely suggest. Really, really good. At first, I wasn't totally sold on how the story was presented, but it's definitely presented so that you get as much information as you need before the end. So I would bear that in mind if you're looking for anything to listen to, and looking into cryptids sounds like it's up your alley. And then the Deca tapes. Another one where I wasn't sure in the first episode how it was being portrayed, and then I caught on to, oh, that's how you're telling me information. It's told in a sort of non-linear way. Like, you're following one story, but really it's a larger overarching story. That is far less, I don't want to say far less interesting. It definitely pulls up a big-ass moral quandary. But the overarching story is a smaller story. It's less of a story and more of a theme that you needed to explore the story to understand. Or at least to make an informed decision on how you feel on that theme. But really, really cool. Yeah. So, Decatapes, I suggest. All of these you can find on Rusty Quill. And then I think I might be going for the White Vault next, but I only have one more week of work, which is why I've been listening to podcasts, because my work is only in the early AM now, and so I don't have to deal with guests or anyone coming in and asking me questions, and I don't have to... I just get to sit there with headphones or music or whatever I want, normally podcasts, and just do menial labor tasks and not have to listen or talk to anyone. And it's heaven. But this upcoming week is my last week of that, so I'm not sure how long the White Vault is, and it might be a bit of an undertaking. But I listened to episode 1 already as a sneak peek on someone else's podcast. I think it was on Old Gods. Only one of the actors drives me fucking nuts. Everybody else is amazing. This one guy, I'm pretty sure he's supposed to be the villain, and I'm pretty sure they forgot to direct him not to admit it from the outset, because he immediately comes on talking like this. And everyone else is just conversational, and they're a bunch of different accents, and then the American is obnoxious as fuck. And I don't know how I'm going to get through it. But the rest of the story just sounds so good. So I'm probably going White Vault next. Anyway, I am going to go. Yeah. I will see you, Gems and Jewels, next week then for the final installment for a while for the celebration of 1 whole year on testosterone for Jan Alexander Bergquist. I hope that I have been able to keep enough information in enough of a semblance of coherency that if you needed to learn any of what I was imparting, you did. I hope I was helpful, or at the very least, somewhat entertaining. I mostly, of course, did this for me, but I am always glad if simply being yourself can be enough for someone else. So, that's all a mess. I'm gonna go probably nap. Alright, have a lovely evening until I see you next week. Be well, stay well. Good night.